Hey guys, Mark Ferrasci, Protect Dog Training, and Googie, who's my new convert that's in. Just got done watching a video that Justin put out in his normal hijinks manners. He's got the young lady he's working with training, she's mentoring to train, and she had got all tied up in a long line. She had a squirming dog that was going around her legs, and it was funny. You know, you kind of got to crack up and laugh. But the long line is something that's a tool, like any tool, needs to be learned to work properly, and then more importantly, learn to respect the hell out of it, because it can put you in the hospital. And I try to tell people this all the time. Those that have been training for any length of time, we've all had it happen where the dog will get sent downfield and we let them take the long line as a drag. So there's speed involved. And then this long line will wrap around your leg, rip you on your ass, and you'll go on your ass. And worse yet, I had an officer that I knew a lot of years ago that had a canine. He just got him in. He was out at the docks in San Pedro. And he was working this dog, and the next week I saw him, he came with a soft cast, and he told the story of how he was doing sends down the dock, and the dog took off, and that long line wrapped around his leg. He was out from underneath himself, and he ended up tearing all the muscles out of his calf, and he was in a soft calf for months. So it's a very dangerous item if you don't understand and respect it. Okay, even though that hijinks that he put out was funny as heck, because the dog was just kind of wrapping around her legs in a stationary position, still doesn't take away the fact that you need to learn to respect and operate the tool properly as far as a long line. So what I do, I use a long line a lot most of the time nowadays. I don't use a 6-foot leash as much as I used to. When I first started out, I learned how to manipulate and handle the 6-foot as part of my instructions coming from my mentor that taught me how to work with my leashes and tools. And their tool, like any other tool, you got to understand how to work it properly. So I want to I've got a squirmy little new puppy all over the place. So what I do with it most of the time is I take it hand over hand and I create a loop in my left hand. And then once I've got this loop here, I turn this and I do my normal thumb in the loop at the end of it. And then I take that and I put it in my right hand. And I now have, in essence, a 6-foot leash, okay? Or a leash that I can dictate how many loops I want out, okay? Same thing, thumb in the loop, hand over hand, boom. This is a motor movement you should learn how to do. And after a while, it becomes just a habit. And you learn how to handle this leash in such a way that it doesn't end up being on the ground and wrap around your legs. Now, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes too, but this is a general sense of how you should operate with this tool. Thumb in the loop, slack hand over hand. It's be about a 6-foot loop. And then I end up with a whole loop, and here I am with a 6-foot leash. Okay, this is how I operate my long line. And then I can do a finger lock where I can take this and then I can hold the dog on a stationary when I'm doing my lunge work. And I can let it out a little bit when I go to do my sends. But I have total control over this because I've been handling this for so many years that I have set motor movements and how I handle everything. My leash, I teach this to my customers, where your hand should be at any given time. And I equate it to being kind of like a guitar. You need to learn how to do it enough times that your unconscious takes over and it becomes a motor movement that's going to be there for you as you grow in your skills as a trainer, right? So same thing. Here I am. Slide down, switch hands, place the dog into a sit. Okay? All these are motor movements that I don't think about doing it because I've been doing it for so many years. Good. Okay? Same thing. I'm going to let go of everything except my thumb, and I'm going to practice this motor movement again and again until it becomes habit and my unconscious takes over and is there to protect me. And that's what happens. Your unconscious ends up being the one that does things for you as you go along. I would suggest to the young lady working with Justin to talk about motor movements that he's learned on the shooting range. Okay, how they learn to handle their weapon, drop the clip, pop another one into it, and do all that so many times their unconscious takes over. So when they get into a hairy pickle fight and they get into a situation, their unconscious is there to protect them, and they've trained so much that their motor movement's there to protect them, right? And very important, because they get into a firefight and that adrenaline hits, they're up in fear and everything else. It's going to be something that saves their ass. And that's a good one to ask Justin, because he's been through that kind of a thing on the street. He knows what I'm talking about by virtue of he's been there. He's eaten, breathes, and sleeps it for many years, and he understands exactly what I'm talking about. So thumb in the loop, slack in my right hand real quick, boom, 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 and I'm right to my 6-foot loop. I missed the loop here, but that's all right. That's the general sense of it, okay? So I just wanted to point that out as I saw that video and cracked up like everybody did. We laughed our ass off, but it's funny, but at the same time, it's not so funny. It's something you should learn to respect. All your tools, even a leash, collar, doesn't matter what it is, learn to operate the tools properly. The tool is only as good as the person using the tool. And I say that all the time when I'm working with stem collars, because there's such controversy in regards to the stem collar. It's not a matter of the tool, it's a matter of the person that's using that tool. And if it's used improperly, it's not going to be as productive as if it is used properly, right? So tools are very important in what we do with them, how we work with a tool, okay? Good. Good girl. See, there goes. It's only my second day. I don't know. Oh, yeah, you're a bitey little puppy. You're a bitey little puppy. Lots to learn, huh? Only our first day here, so we're just getting started, huh? That's just Googie. All right, guys. Have a good day. Mark Ferrasci, Protect Dog Training. Talk to you later.